The REA links research, training, and practice to enhance care and quality of life for older adults. The REA supports practice-relevant research and mobilizes evidence so it can inform programs, be integrated into education and training, and influence practice and policy. The REA was created through the humanitarian spirit and vision of Dr. Ron Schlegel, whose family has been serving older Ontarians for over 60 years. As a program of the REA, the Schlegel Centre for Learning, Research, and Innovation in Long-Term Care, the Schlegel CLRI, aims to catalyze system transformation through research-informed practice change and innovation and workforce preparedness. The Schlegel CLRI is one of 3 centres of excellence funded by the Ontario Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care to enhance the quality of seniors' care in long-term care homes through education, research, innovation, evidence-based service delivery and design, and knowledge transfer. 2 other CLRIs are Baycrest in Toronto and Briere in Ottawa. The REA and Schlegel CLRI have many partners. Our primary research partner is the University of Waterloo, where we have several research chairs, and we also have partnerships with Schlegel Villages, Conestoga College, McMaster University, and others. We're very happy to have a couple of the leadership and partners from Sienna Senior Living here today, presenting about their culture change journey with a focus on the Weston Terrace Care Community, and they will soon introduce themselves. So here's a little bit more information about me in case you're curious. I first entered the world of long-term care in 2001 when my grandmother, living with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's diseases, could no longer stay in her apartment. I started studying to become a gerontologist soon after then to help ensure that long-term care communities are enjoyable places to live, work, and visit. So I'm thrilled to support the REA, the Schlegel CLRI, and our many current and future partners in Ontario and beyond to change the culture of aging. So we're going to have a couple of questions as well as polls throughout this webinar, and when you do, I will come on and ask you just to fill out the poll or type any questions in the chat box. And now I'll turn it over to our team at Sienna here, starting with Michael.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael. I am the Executive Director at Weston Terrace. I am thrilled to have this opportunity to present this webinar to all of you. My background includes several years of experience in long-term care, including dietary, environmental, and administrative operations. I joined Weston Terrace in late April 2015 as the new Executive Director, just days before our rebranding from Leisure World to Sienna Senior Living. I'd like to now hand it over to Philippa.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you to RII for this wonderful invitation to share our journey. My name is Philippa Welch, and I'm the Vice President of Clinical Operations for Sienna Senior Living, which means that I have the opportunity and glean the benefits of working with a number of different systems, processes, and most importantly, the care communities to advance our resident experience and to advance projects like the Culture Journey project that Weston Terrace did. I am lucky to have had a 30-year career in long-term care and bring a Six Sigma and gerontology perspective to that, to my role at Sienna, and meet my partner, Jill.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. My name is Jill Gibson, and I'm one of the recreation and leisure partners at Sienna Senior Living, and I have the pleasure of supporting our recreation leads and the social work leads in the care communities in the West region. We look at meaningful engagement for our residents, ultimately enhancing the resident experience from a recreation and leisure perspective, as well as supportive counseling. We have an invested interest in looking at therapeutic interventions and ensuring that the recreation and leisure opportunities are meaningful and contribute to lifelong learning.
All right, thanks everyone. And so now we have our first question for all of you out there participating in this webinar. So we want to know which sector or sectors you work in. So you should be able to just click on your screen. It looks like we already have a couple of responses coming up, and I think you're able to see them as well. So far, the majority of you say you work in long-term care, a couple in retirement, a few in acute care, as well as other sectors. All right, so that's fantastic. Thanks very much for sharing that. So we'll be able to hone in our presentation today based on your needs. And now on to the agenda.
Excellent. Thanks, Kate. Most of you chiming in here today and joining us today are from long-term care, so we hope our story and the messages shared today really resonate with all of you. We would like to thank all of you for joining us today. The team at Sienna is really delighted to be here and to share the afternoon with you and our journey thus far. We'd like to thank the Research Institute for Aging for hosting this webinar and for our team joining you. We know that your days are full when you're working in long-term care, so we appreciate you taking the time out of your full days to join us today. For the next hour, we're going to share an overview of Sienna Senior Living with you, the research that has guided our journey and our story thus far, and all of the great work that's taken place at Weston Terrace. I'd like to invite Philippa to get us started. Over to you, Philippa.
Thank you, Jill. So what you see in front of you now on the screen is a roadmap, and it is our story and our journey of how we came to first have vision around this project and then land with the great work that was done at Weston Terrace. Our goal today is to stop along the road, and you can see this curvy road. I don't know about you, but I've yet to experience a project that had a straight highway from A to B, and I got to my destination with no stops or turns along the way. And that was certainly our experience with our Culture Change project at Weston Terrace. So my role will be to introduce to you where we started and what even ignited some thinking around this project in the beginning. And then Jill and Michael will lead you through the research and the evidence that we attach to our thinking. And then most importantly, we'll land at the experience of the team at Weston Terrace and the stories that Michael is going to tell us about these successes that they had there. As we know, every journey begins with but a single step, so this is just to remind us that you can't even finish or you can't even envision what you don't start. So what you will see in this presentation is not a beautifully packaged, evidence-based project that's all wrapped up with a bow that you can now take and implement in your own care community. But what you will see is our story, our journey, our lessons learned, and we hope that you go away with some thoughts about how you could ignite a similar kind of change or opportunity in one of your homes. So the first thing is to understand Sienna. So Sienna, as an organization, is on a journey of itself. A couple of years ago, we are very much founded in a solid long-term care organization in Leisure World, and decided that in order to serve our seniors, to ignite passion in seniors care and our team members, and to move forward the growing expectations of the senior care community and our families, that we needed to rethink about what was giving us the foundation and what was giving us the tools and the collateral to help us be successful. So we embarked on a new journey to come up with vision, mission, and values. You see in front of you our vision to awaken our communities to the positive possibilities of life's next chapters. In that, we're going to help you live fully every day, and then we speak to the values that we all uphold. And I would say to you that we have many projects going on alongside of Weston Terrace to really speak to the values and put behaviors and action to the words on paper. All that underpinned by our brand promise of the warmth of human connection. I share this information with you because I think it gives you some context as to why we embarked on the journey that we did at Weston Terrace and what it was that Michael was identifying as an opportunity to move culture in that organization. Further to the vision, mission, and values is the Sienna brand. So an organization, just like people, we have personalities, and organizations have personalities. So further to the language of vision, mission, and values is what does it mean to have the warmth of human connection at the heart of Sienna Senior Living? What does it mean around our interactions? How do we emphasize this truth? How do we bring it to life? And how do we make sure that every experience is conducted in this manner? So we're constantly checking in with these interactions. We're checking in with residents, with family members, with team members, and making sure that we do, even in difficult situations, connect and communicate according to our brand promise. Alongside of that personality, we put some attributes to that. As personalities do for organizations and people, in this case, as an organization, we can choose what our personality is going to be. We weren't born with it, and we're not tied with it. We can leverage our skills and our attributes to really focus on the personality traits that we like. So we are optimistic, we're respectful, we're genuine. We're not what you see in the grayed out section. Further to that, we changed some of our language and words, and you'll hear us talk about words that are just a little bit different in the sector. You see them on the page in front of you, and hold us to account through this presentation. I hope that you hear new language and new words. So on that end, I'd like to hand back over to Kate, who's going to ask you yet your next question in this presentation.
Yeah, thanks very much, Philippa. So our first question to you all are, what are some examples of words that you use in your environment? Are there any being used that you would like to change? So just tell us more by typing in your answers in the text box there. And we'll give you a minute to do that, and then we'll come back and do a quick summary. Hello, and thanks for sharing your answers. So we're seeing a lot of positive words and terms, whether they're terms you're using now, or a lot of people are, noting changes, such as, going from the word behavior to the word personal expression, referring to a dining room as a Jerry dining room, to a dining room for residents who require total feeding assistance, and so on. So yeah, so this shows that a lot of you are, really, either making positive changes or, having some different ideas about how to use your language differently. So that's fantastic. Now I'll hand it back to the Sienna team.
So the opportunity that we had was, as things do, the stars aligned. So we had connection from a colleague, Ribby Seberg, who's a registered nurse, and has worked in long-term care and has had a passion for long-term care and long-term care residents for her career. But more importantly to this project, had been a long-standing teacher, mentor, and coach for personal support workers. And Ribby did some work in what she called Incivility, and researching uncivil behavior in the workplace and what impact that has on PSWs. So we were able to reach out to Ribby, and with her, through discussions with her, some research that she had done, pointing us in the direction of where we wanted to go in terms of our vision, the learning opportunity, the project readiness, the curiosity of Michael and his team at Weston Terrace, and the opportunity to develop our people. Growth is one of our values, so we very much want to take opportunities to grow in many different areas, and this was intriguing to us, so we embarked upon the journey of the Culture Change Project at Weston Terrace. Jill now is going to give you some of the research and the evidence associated.
Excellent. Thank you, Philippa. Moving along here, this slide, we're going to go back to our curvy, windy road and emphasize where we are next in our journey. And it was really to review the research that helped guide our decision-making throughout the process at Weston Terrace. The culture change journey at Sienna really began with the lens of empowering our team members. the team appreciated right from the very beginning that if we have team members that are committed, engaged, confident, and passionate about what they're doing day in, day out at the front line, that ultimately will enhance the resident experience and the resident opportunities. The team collaborated, as Philippa said, with Ruby Seberg, who was able to help shed some light on incivility and civility within organizations and the impact. And the extension of this project was really to look at the Sienna rebranding and move forward with that in practice, looking at the values in action. We explored opportunities. We looked at the definition of incivility and civility and really explored opportunities to deal with incivility and increase civil connections, communication, and interactions between team members, family members, and residents. The purpose of reviewing this research really helped give us common language around the terms incivility and civility. We wanted to again reduce the incidence of incivility and create opportunities for team members to come forward when they've had interactions that were unpleasant, to help live our vision, mission, and values and bring that to life, bring that to action within the care communities. We wanted to enhance the likelihood that team members were connecting positively, positive outcomes, and strong interactions that ultimately benefited the residents within the care community. On the slide in front of you, we are sharing the definition of incivility. And as Philippa shared earlier, respect is one of our core values, and we hold our team members accountable to respecting one another, respecting our family members, what they're going throughout the journey of assisting a resident in long-term care, and the residents themselves. So the definition that Anderson and Peterson in the research was able to share really resonated with the team because it speaks directly to the respect factor. Incivility, which can be defined as low-intensity, deviant behavior with ambiguous intent to harm the target in violation of workplace norms for mutual respect. And this is certainly a core value that is very important to Sienna. Throughout the pilot project, the team really focused on these two working definitions of incivility and civility. Incivility being defined as rude and discourteous behavior that conveys disrespect towards others. We were looking for opportunities and seeking information throughout our focus groups to decrease the incidences of incivility and increase the opportunity for civility, courteous and considerate behaviors towards other people.
All right, and now we have another question for everyone out there joining us. So what impacts do you think incivility in the workplace can have on an individual? So we'll give you just a minute or two to think about this and then type in your answer in the response box there.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights. All of your comments are spot on in terms of what the research demonstrated as well. Incivility leaves a very, very negative impact on the individual being affected, ultimately reducing the quality of care that the residents experience. Everything that you shared in the chat box aligns nicely with exactly what the research shows. Lower well-being for team members, impaired concentration, a disconnect from their role, turnover intentions, lower job satisfaction, and great psychological distress on the team member. We know that this has a significant cost to an organization. If we think of the manager's time taken away from productivity to address incivility, it's significant time. And I think we can all reflect back over the course of our careers on a situation that we may define ourselves as incivil. We can reflect on a time that we may have had an interaction with a team member that was not positive, that left us feeling in a negative way in some capacity. And if it had been handled in just a slight different manner, it could have had a much different, more positive outcome. If we think about the time that people take away from their productivity of work, the absenteeism that incivility causes, and ultimately the turnover and the cost to the organization, it's significant. If we look at reinvesting this time in a positive way, what a difference it would make. The next thing the team did along the journey is really look at what could be done to address incivility. And this is where we really started to question what could be done to reduce incivility and increase civility. The research helped guide our thinking towards opportunities for empowerment, transparency between the leadership team and team members, and vice versa, team members coming forward to the leadership team, engagement, and really giving the team permission to do things differently. A couple examples include empower the team members to communicate any situation that left them feeling uncomfortable. Bring that forward to the leadership team, and also to create a safe place and thank the team members for sharing how they felt so that they felt heard. In collaboration with our expert Rivi, we gained an understanding of the prevalence of incivility and its impact and possible ideas to increase civil interactions. Another experience that was significant on the journey is when Michael, the ED of Weston Terrace, who's going to speak next, the Vice President who supports Weston Terrace, a colleague, and the project lead at that time, attended the Walk With Me conference in Edmonton in March 2016. This conference really gave the teams a hands-on experience of other teams' journeys in their culture change work, the opportunity to review best practices regarding putting living first, and networking opportunities. The team that attended the conference shared with the pilot team that the keynote speaker was very enlightening and inspired them to embark on this journey. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Michael to share specific examples of changes that have impacted the care community very positively.
Thank you very much, Jill. So as we travel along the roadmap of our journey, I will be sharing insights on the beginning stages with the team at Weston Terrace, including our kickoff meeting, focus groups, planning, and sharing our story. The project team hosted a kickoff meeting back in April 2016 in the care community to gain buy-in, support, and excitement for this initiative. This was an opportunity to share the journey we were about to partake in with the team. Prior to the kickoff meeting, 6 champions were chosen to advocate and engage team members' participation. These champions were instrumental in building anticipation for change, engagement in the process, and implementation of positive change. The champions are driving forces that acknowledge the desire for change and are strong leaders along the journey. So to help paint a picture in your mind regarding the journey has taken place, we would like to share with you some photos that capture the story at Weston Terrace. Weston Terrace is located in the historic town of Western Ontario in central West Toronto. 224 residents call Weston Terrace home. We have over 236 team members and a team of medical professionals providing services to all the residents at Weston Terrace. Our team members are very diverse, and most have been working in our community for several years. Our leadership team has respected history in the community. Residents and families enjoy company and events together, with the entire community getting involved. Our team members ensure that our residents live life fully every single day. So here are some pictures of the exterior of our community. We are fortunate to have outdoor space in front of the building and our courtyard where residents, team members, and family members can gather. These images share a glimpse of other spaces within the care community that residents, family members, and team members share. At Weston Terrace, we put living first by celebrating every day. I felt it was important to share pictures that reflect how our team members work together and have fun together. So when I started my journey as Executive Director of Weston Terrace, I looked forward to being myself and remaining positive, outgoing, and influencing my team to be the best they can be. I did this by fully supporting the teams and taking the time to listen and be interested in what team members are saying. Most importantly, I gained the most respect by putting ideas that team members suggested into action immediately, which ultimately resolved long-standing concerns that were never resolved in the past. I then congratulated the team members for their contribution and expertise with resolving the issues. Culture change is not limited to long-term care. I recognize a great opportunity that would be a positive influence for the team members and wanted change. My desire to participate in this culture change journey was also very influenced by external resources. After reading the cover story in the September 2016 issue of HR Professional magazine, I found out that several organizations make staff engagement a top priority, as staff disengagement are costing employers billions of dollars each year. Trust seems to be the new engagement. My leadership team has agreed to take this journey with me and break down barriers that prevent team members from being heard, trusted, and appreciated for their efforts. Detecting and containing disengagement is critical. Linking back to the roadmap of our journey, I would like to provide a high-level overview of the focus groups and information that was shared. In a safe, confidential space, champions, team members, leadership team members, and residents had the opportunity to express and share current state, how they felt in the care community, and if and how they felt valued. Our approach to the focus group sessions concentrated on what is, what could be, and what should be, and what will be, all in an effort to put the mission of live life fully every day into action and increasing opportunities for courteous and considerate behaviors towards one another. A few examples of questions explored include: 1, what is going on when you feel you are at your best each day? 2, what does the management team do really well to ensure your work experience is a positive one? And 3, what makes you feel valued at Weston Terrace?
All right. Thanks very much, Michael, for sharing your many insights and ideas. They're all very inspiring. So now we're going to hand it back over to everybody out there, and we want to know what makes you feel valued in your workplace. So if you want to take a minute or two just to think about that and type in your response in the box there. Hello, thanks for sharing your ideas on this. It seems like people, and there's still some feedback coming in. Praise seems to be something that's very common and makes people feel valued in their workplace, as does recognition, appreciation, having a voice, wanting people to seek out your input, having autonomy, being thanked, having friendly co-workers, and being acknowledged. So yeah, so it seems like there's a lot of these positive common elements that that focuses on and rewards you as a person, but what also makes and leads to meaningful teamwork. And now I'll hand it back over to Michael.
Thank you very much, Kate. So through the focus group sessions, we gained valuable insights into ideas and opportunities that help guide initiatives for enhanced communication, team member recognition, and engagement. The key message the project team focused on was opportunities for enhanced engagement and increased respect among individuals. So we focused our efforts into 3 pillars. 1, resident opportunities. 2, team member engagement opportunities. And 3, leadership opportunities. So based on the results of information gathered in the focus groups, we customize our efforts to increase visibility by relocating our Associate Directors of Care's offices, and that's the ADOC's offices, to the home areas, increasing leadership walkabouts, and being present in the dining rooms during mealtime to assist, engage in conversation with residents and team members, and to enhance the pleasurable dining experience for the residents. By doing a minimum of 2 walkabouts in the care community daily, this provides me with a greater resident and family contact and relations. In a timely manner, I am able to address concerns and contribute to the residents' quality of life at Weston Terrace. This also gave me a great opportunity to build and maintain relations with the community at large. Collaboratively, our leadership team decided it was time to put down the clipboards when we go to home areas and dining rooms during meal periods. Our focus when we visit the dining rooms is to influence positive interactions and be supportive to all team members as they deliver the most important events of the day to our residents: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Rather than focusing our attention to a checklist on a clipboard or iPad, we interact with residents, families, and team members and acknowledge team members on the spot. We show the team members that leaders and team members can work together, be productive, and have fun at the same time. This will drastically reduce the perception of team members feeling that we are there to only critique them and look for their mistakes. Any noticeable findings during these interactive walkabouts can easily be recorded on an audit report in the office later. Action steps can then be coordinated in a positive, constructive manner. This initiative is specifically implemented following the feedback from the focus group sessions that ask for increased interprofessional collaboration and increased support from leadership. An opportunity presented itself to increase civil behavior and create an environment that fosters increased collaboration, partnership, and team engagement by relocating the ADOC offices to the home areas. Prior to this change, the Associate Director of Care offices, or ADOC, were down a long hallway on the first floor, not in a resident space. Being so physically disconnected from where care is provided, the ADOCs were removed from where team engagement and decision-making occurred. This strategic change has demonstrated that physical connectedness of team members is important for greater collaboration to occur. The ADOCs have flourished with this initiative. They are connecting with their teams and giving them more opportunities to engage them in conversations and team initiatives. Frequent huddles that remain positive and one-on-one constructive conversations have really set a positive tone around the entire community. Having their supervisors so close and access to valuable resources have really impacted the team members in a positive way. The feedback we hear from team members during casual conversations and town hall meetings suggests that the Culture Change Project is very successful. The ADOCs are very happy that they have their own offices, which they have decorated and organized in a way that works for them. All ADOCs have open door policy that invite team members to be able to communicate freely without fear of being rejected or looked upon as a nuisance. In fact, we have far less workplace incidents that were a result of potential conflict between team members. The ADOCs took the initiative to personalize their space, which demonstrates the desire to connect on a personal level. They invited team members in to get to know the person as a person. The ADOCs have determined that they get more work done than they ever have in the past. ADOCs are proud to be able to have a private space which enables them to have meetings with families, residents, or team members without having to find alternative space like before. This has saved so much time, allowing them to be more organized, productive, and increase contact with residents in their home area. So prior to empowering team members to connect and making engagement a priority, there was a disconnect. Acknowledging one another on a regular basis was not common practice. Team members would walk past one another without acknowledging each other positively. Occasionally, leaders would pass team members without engagement. Not acknowledging each other lead team members to question, what did I do? Oh, they must be upset with me. It can be perceived as rude or discourteous, as the definition of incivility suggests. Take the split second it takes to say hello, smile, wink, or simply give a high five. Fosters courteous and considerate behavior toward each other. This puts civility into action. The actions of connecting bring the Sienna brand personality to life by creating an optimistic, respectful, positive, and genuine space to work in every day.
All right. Thanks so much, Michael, for these positive ideas and changes. And so now we want to ask everyone out there joining us, so how can you enhance team interactions within your care community? So just take a minute or two to think about that and type in your answer again in the box on your screen. All right. Yeah, thanks everyone for sharing ideas. A lot of you are saying, that it's important to smile, to say hello, to genuinely ask people how their day is going, how they're feeling, to really listen. A lot of you like the idea of Michael's 10-foot rule, having huddles near the end of shifts, having all hands on board during meetings and meals, and, trying to not take things too seriously, and again, trying to really foster that sense of team and staff recognition. So thank you for sharing.
Okay, so the team at Weston Terrace continues on the journey to enhancing culture across the care community. As the journey continues, some ideas we continue to explore include regular town hall meetings throughout 2017 that will foster team collaboration, and ideas for town hall meetings box, which will be implemented so that team members have the opportunity to influence the discussion at the town hall meetings to make this meeting their own. The town hall meetings will be an opportunity to promote special events within the care community and communicate special projects and initiatives that will be occurring within the care community. This is an opportunity for increased communication, collaboration, and transparency. We will review the opportunity for continued rollout of resident-centered care presentations within the care community, and the pilot project are exploring opportunities for workshops for team members on trust, respect, and customer service. Now I would like to hand it back over to Philippa.
Sure, and just before we do that, we have a question from somebody online. So she's wondering where the focus groups took place and how long they lasted. At the care community she's at, staff already feel a time constraint within their routine and are not willing to stay over time.
Okay, I can answer that question. Our focus group sessions took place right in our care community at Weston Terrace. And we planned it very accordingly, and we had excellent participation. We posted signage, and we actually spread the word around the community, and it really was successful. We had great participation with this.
Thank you, Michael. I think it speaks to the curiosity and that this project managed as well. So, Michael piqued people's interest by posting these opportunities to collaborate, come and have a voice. And, there's a lot of power in that and a lot of interest, so that's why the focus groups were very successful. And there was a great deal of support and collaboration to make sure that schedules worked as effectively as possible to honor people's work-life balance as well. I'd just like to, as we come to the end of our time together, give you some thoughts on inspiration. Every project requires inspiration, and every organization requires inspiration. This is just one thing that we are doing at Sienna to move forward our agenda, to awaken our communities to the positive possibilities of life's next chapters, and doing that through living fully every day. One of the items, I'll call it, that we leverage at Sienna is our creed. Our creed was developed alongside of our vision, mission, and values, and truly has become that jolt of inspiration that we need from time to time to keep going and to move forward. We'd now like to share the creed with you, and then I'll hand it back to Kate for the end of the session.
Every day of your life is created equal. From the day you were born to the day you die. And every day in between, every day deserves to be lived to the fullest. Every day is valuable. Every day of your life, you should be able to choose how you spend your time. Every day, you should be comfortable. Every day, you should feel safe and secure. Every day, joy and laughter should be within your reach. Many people don't believe this. They think there are some days, entire stretches of life, that are, quite simply, less. They shudder to think of the days when they will no longer live in their own home. The days when their body or their mind won't cooperate. The days, weeks, Years when they'll be left to sit alone. They don't even want to think about it.
To them we say, think again.
Think again.
We are here to prove that a full life is possible every day you have on this earth. We know, because we have dedicated our lives to helping seniors live more fully, no matter what stage of life they're at. In community after community, one person and family at a time, one day at a time, we help thousands feel better than they thought possible.
This is what makes our own lives so rewarding.
It's what drives us to grow and be better every day.
It's the older people we love who taught us the meaning of a full life. They've shown us that fullness does not come from what's on your calendar, or how fast you can run, or the building you are in. The fullness of life comes from the warmth of human connection. It comes from being surrounded by people who come when you call, who listen and understand, who help you to be your best. People who spend time and share your stories, who get where you're coming from, who become like family, who care. We will awaken our communities to the positive possibilities of life's next chapters. We will erase the poor reputation that plagues staff in this sector. We will challenge the stigma in society that surrounds needing a little bit of help, or even needing a lot. We will show the world that every day is worth looking forward to. Every single day of your life, in every single community we serve. Today is a new day. Live it fully.
So thank you, Kate. We'd like to thank everyone on the call today for listening to our story, for participating today. There was great connection in the chat, so we're going to open it up to questions in a few minutes. We at Sienna always like the opportunity to connect and support people along their journey in long-term care. So on your screen here, you have all of our email addresses, and we welcome the opportunity to connect if there's further questions after today. So thank you to all of you for being with us today. We're going to open it up to questions, and we'd like to thank Kate and her team here at the Research Institute for all of your support and guidance with this opportunity.
Oh, well, thanks very much to you, Jill, and Michael and Philippa for joining us today. It's been a real pleasure to partner with you on this webinar and to learn more about your wonderful culture change journey. And so now we're going to get into your final comments and questions. We already have a few here. And so one of them was, how were the champions selected? What was the role of the focus group? Did you take into account the results of the survey for families, residents, and staff satisfaction? So feel free to type in other questions or comments you have in the chat box there for us.
Okay, I can answer this. So our champions were selected by the community. We had posted some signage inviting team members from all different departments to, if there was any interest of them becoming a champion for a culture change project, that they could apply and send us, their application or whatever you want to call it. They'll just come and let us know that they're interested in becoming a champion. And we did get a great response, and we were able to actually have 6 champions on board. And each champion came from different departments, from nursing, activation, from housekeeping, and from programs. And it really did make a difference that we had different departments involved. And they were really instrumental in getting our focus group sessions together and really getting participation from the team members. So I really want to say thank you to them, because they were really, really good at motivating the team members to come to the focus group sessions. So that was really good. Now, the other question, the reason why we had the focus group sessions was to really see how the team members feel. We were able to get some really good responses and some good information from them, which we were able to analyze and really put together an action plan that we could actually roll out as part of our journey, and it really has worked out quite well. Yes. So, second question: has your staff engagement survey results changed since our focus group sessions? They certainly have. We've actually for 2016, our participation rates have remained extremely high. So I firmly believe that that has made an impact as well.
All right, excellent. Thanks, Michael. And if there are any more questions or comments, just feel free to enter them in the chat box there. But for more information, you can also feel free to contact me anytime, visit our website, sign up for our Culture Change newsletter, or find us on social media. We hope that you'll join us for our next Culture Change webinar with the Ontario Association of Residents Councils, which will be on Wednesday, February 22nd from 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern. And this time around, we'll be talking about their new education program called Through Our Eyes that brings the Residents' Bill of Rights alive. We'll be posting the recording and slides from today's webinar on our website in the next day or two, as well as the upcoming details about the Through Our Eyes Culture Change webinar. And it looks like we have another question that's popped up. So what time of day worked best for conducting the focus groups, Michael?
We did all our focus group sessions between breakfast and lunch, and we did a few between lunch and dinner, but we picked a strategic time that did not interfere with resident care, and we actually did we organized the schedule appropriately so there was coverage in each home area for all the residents. So hopefully that answers your question.
All right, wonderful. Well, thanks again for participating in today's webinar, everyone. We'd like to know your thoughts about it and any suggestions you have for future Culture Change webinars. So a short online survey link is being emailed to you soon, and that will also include a download link for the PDF slides for this presentation today. So thanks again to our fabulous presenters from Sienna Senior Living, as well as special thanks to Darlie Dash from the REA for her wonderful webinar ideas and support. So enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. We're signing off now, but again, feel free to get in touch with us anytime.